Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, any videos and reactions and such, and I hugely apologize for that. I have just been through a lot. A lot of stuff has happened over the past few months. Stuff that I don't really want to get into right now, so I won't. But as a coming back video, I decided to go ahead and watch the Netflix version of Deathnote. Not the original series, not the original live action movies that they did, but the new one that just came out. And I have to say, with this one, it was absolutely horrible. There was only a few parts that were good. The plot was barely decent. The characters themselves just completely off in some cases. And I didn't really enjoy this movie. I didn't care for this movie one bit. I only watched it to see how it would stack up to the original series, and it doesn't stack up well at all. The character of Light is book smart, but not really street smart, if that makes any sense. He is very intelligent, but he lacks the passion of the original series Light. Now, the character of Mia, on the other hand, she lacks the personality of Mia from the original series. In the original series, Mia is just obsessed with Light and just wants to do anything and everything to please him, to make sure that, he loves her and he stays with her. And this one, that is all out the window. Basically, she wants to stay with him, but in a sense doesn't really care. She just wants to do what she believes is right, and she doesn't care if she stays with Light to do that or not. The character of L actually was one of the few good characters in this movie. He got the personality down just straight out. The way he moves, talks, acts, except near the ending of the movie. Near the ending of the movie, he's just more emotional, and that kind of bugged me a little bit, because L's not really an emotional person. He has emotion, obviously, he's human just like, everybody else, but he doesn't really show emotion. Now, the character of Ryuk, played by William Dafoe, that one just hit spot on. Ryuk, although I will say Ryuk unfortunately didn't really have that much dialogue in this movie. At the beginning, yes, but just throughout the entire movie, you barely see him, barely hear him, except for when he's laughing. And so it really makes me wonder if they utilized William Dafoe very well. And if I was a director and I had William Dafoe playing in my movie, I would want to utilize him to the best of my ability, because William Dafoe is a very good actor. In all the movies that I've seen him in, he's just been incredible. Who else? Watari, the character of Watari was actually very well done. Just straight to the point. Watari basically keeps to himself. He's L's assistant, doesn't really say much. It's just, hey, do this for me, okay, got it done. So with that being said, the actor who played Watari in this version of Deathnote actually did a very good job, although he didn't get much dialogue either. And in my opinion, this movie was a little fast-paced, just a tad, but I kind of understand, because it was, a 2-hour movie, so I think they had to rush some things. But other than that, I would say one of the good things about this movie has to be the deaths. Especially the very first one. I love the effects of the deaths. I love that when it comes to the deaths and the rules of the Death Note, they stick strictly to the original series, in the sense of there's all these rules that you have to follow. That has to be not specific, but again, rules to follow. So with that being said, they got that down perfectly. there was so many problems with this movie that I didn't like, and again, one of the problems is that this movie is, kind of rushed a little bit. But another, again, like I said before, another problem with this movie is that the personalities were reversed, and that's something that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that in this movie, Light seems scared to push his own limits, and in the original series, that's not the case. In the original series, Light wants to do everything that he possibly can to make the world a better place in his own image, in his own way. And in this series, he's willing to do that, but he's not willing to push his limits. He's not willing to test the Death Note. He's not willing to do what is necessary. But Mia, on the other hand, is. And as I've said before, in the original series, Mia will do what is necessary, but only if Light tells her to do it. Other than that, she's kind of hesitant in the original series. And this one, no. Basically, their personalities are completely reversed. And I mean, I could see kind of why they did it, but at the same time, it just didn't make sense to me. And so, with that being said, that's just one of the things I didn't like. And again, another thing that I didn't like is that near the end of the movie, Elle was emotional. And so, like I said before, Elle is not really an emotional person. He has emotion, but he's more calculating. He's more, dare I say it, cold to other people. And so, with that being said, it's just something that I feel they could have done better but with his calculation, his deduction skills, with his detective skills, they were actually spot on. And with that being said, all I can say is the character of Elle could have been better. Could have been better done. Other than that, I would say that I didn't really like the fact of this movie being placed in Seattle. I mean, I understand why they did it, considering that, it is a Netflix original movie. So, with that being said, it has to be, somewhere here, I guess, in the United States, although, don't quote me on that. But I didn't like the fact that it was in Seattle. Yes, we did see a bit of Japan, where, the original series takes place, but we don't see it for very often. We just see, I want to say 5 minutes, and that's Elle's introduction. Is, 5-minute introduction of Elle, so 5 minutes in Japan, and then, the rest is in Seattle. So basically, I don't like that it was in Seattle, but it is what it is when it comes to location. You have to do with what you got, I guess you can say. So with that being said, if I'm going to compare this movie to the live-action movies, I want to go ahead and say that the live-action movies that they did, for those of you who haven't seen the live-action movies, they're actually very well done. But the live-action movies that they did are insanely better than this one. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say about this movie except to give it a rating, and that rating would have to be a 2 out of 10. I realized that this is the first video that I've done where I gave a movie a bad rating. I know in the past with my other videos I've given ratings of, at least 7 out of 10. But obviously those were big, box office movies like Civil War, Doctor Strange, and all those movies. So with that being said, obviously this isn't a box office movie, but it is a movie nonetheless. Netflix has to work with a budget. It is Netflix. There are Netflix originals that are actually really, really good, though. Netflix originals that have come out and just destroyed everything else. So with that being said, Netflix can do a good job, but when it comes to this, they, didn't really flop, but they could have done a better job. So with that being said, again, I give this movie a 2 out of 10, and I honestly have no idea what other movie that I'm going to review next. No, actually, I do. Scratch that. I will be reviewing It next, the remake. I'm going to see how that one stacks up against obviously, the original version. So when it comes to, the movie It, We'll see how that one goes. Judging from the previews that I've seen, it's actually going to come out really, really good, especially with today's effects. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm also looking forward to reviewing Infinity War, although that's next year, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But other than that, if you guys decide to watch this version of Death Note, by all means, go right ahead to see how you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you've seen this movie. Let me know what your thoughts are. If I'm wrong, hey, feel free to call me out on it. Other than that, again, I don't have much to say about this movie, and for those of you who do see it, I hope you enjoy it more than I did. Other than that, I just wanted to make this quick comeback video and tell you guys about this movie, and I will say that you guys are going to be seeing more videos coming out in the future. So until next time, I will see you guys later.